Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is episode 3 of the Rings of Power, which we are putting up a few days late. Sorry about that, but
we were away.
Well, and we were celebrating our anniversary, and we were like, do we really want to, stop doing that to watch episode 3 of this show?
To watch this, and then you have to edit it for several hours, so it's like, eh.
No, we've been married for 2 years. We're going to celebrate that. And now we're going to get into this episode called Adar.
Oh.
Second episode 2 is called Adrift. And so I hope that everything is just AD something.
I think they would run out of things real quick.
Adam and all the Wheel of Time people are like, what?
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 Here's the thing, because it's like a fantasy series, they could just make up a bunch of words that start with AD, right?
Well, Adar is not a word.
That's what I mean.
I think we collectively did not like episode 1 and really liked episode 2. So I think it's fair to say that we're really hoping for some episode 2 vibes here.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Let's go with that.
All right, here we go. Episode 3.
Where is this you're from, anyway?
Is it Gandalf? Is he Gandalf?
No, he better not be. I will riot.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time we saw this, it was really cool. It doesn't do much for the show. I get what it's referencing in the Silmarillion, and it's cool that it's a reference to the Silmarillion and to sound and how sound creates physical things. I get it. Mm-hmm. We've been re-listening to the Silmarillion audiobook, so I'm seeing it now, but it's an intro. It just doesn't do much for the show.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Ooh, we get to see the orcs. Yo.
Get to it! For Adar.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Great servant stuff about. Now dig!
Dig. Oh, they got the elves on the retreat. Okay. That's interesting. I love the orc design.
Yeah.
The way they're using the helmets.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Before they had all the ability for metalworking.
It's not poison, if that's your concern. Not for humans, anyway.
That's fair. You wouldn't know. He's like, I didn't get sick. You might. The gold and the blue together is a
Looks
good
great.
look. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love these costumes.
Yeah, we should get you one.
Oh, cosplay as him.
One of the Eldar. On board my ship. Strange tides indeed.
What vessel is this?
We're nearly there.
Nearly where?
Home.
I thought he was going to say Numenor. Did he steal her knife?
Yeah. Yeah, he took their weapons. Well, I don't think he had any, but...
Ooh. Okay. Okay. This looks great.
Yeah.
The island kingdom of Numenor.
Oh, that shot, I was like, they're not going to clear that.
Yeah, they're going to make it? Wow.
Is she concerned to be there?
I don't know.
Wow.
Holy.
Oh, cool. I really like that.
I love that the protrusion from the palace mirrors the one in Minas Tirith.
Yeah. It's everything Minas Tirith wished it could be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
it's Minas Tirith is like the shadow of this city.
Basically.
Yeah, it's cool.
Since when did men like me build kingdoms such as this?
These men are not like you. In the Great War, your ancestors stood with Morgoth. These men stood with the elves. Once elves came and went freely from these shores.
What happened?
In time, they broke off all contact.
Why?
So Sauron must already be here.
No, Sauron doesn't come here until much later.
That's what I thought. I thought he befriended Celebrimbor first and then fled to Numenor and corrupted the king.
Yeah, no, he doesn't come here
But-
until after he's revealed to be Sauron. It doesn't, who knows?
Right.
He's also supposed to have made the rings like 1,000 years ago. So like, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
They did such a good job. This looks amazing. And the like blend of practical and CGI is so
Seamless.
not noticeable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suggest we set history aside for the moment. Show some restraint.
We're on the same
I love
page
that
now.
every character who interacts with Galadriel is like, hey, maybe we like chill out on this one.
Yeah.
That's a beard. Ooh.
Kneel.
No one kneels in Numenor.
Sorry.
That's funny.
Speak, elf.
Galadriel of the Noldor, daughter of the Golden House of Finarfin, commander of the northern armies of High King Gil-galad.
Halbrand. It's been generations since a ship of Numenor was permitted to make such a journey on an elf's behalf.
It is because of the elves that you were given this island. Surely you can spare a few planks and a rudder.
She's so rude.
Our ancestors were not given anything.
What the elf means.
Then if blood be the price of passage, I will pay it.
Jesus Christ.
I welcome you to try. Guards,
My friend.
It seems to me that our leaving presents some complications.
Sir, you should be Numenor's guest.
Why is she such an asshole?
I don't know.
What did the Numenorians do to her?
But also, like, what does she think she's accomplishing? He's like, what was that?
What was that?
The Southlands will still be there in 3 days.
But will its people?
Look around you.
What is 3 days to an elf?
I don't know.
Why is she in such a hurry?
I don't know. This whole show's in a hurry.
At the very least.
He pickpocketed?
That's why he hugged the captain. Let's go, Halbrand! The problem with it is, like, in this whole scene, they've made her seem incompetent, and they've made Halbrand seem very competent.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they would make that choice.
I
tell
don't
me about
know.
this captain.
His name is Elendil.
Earns their place in the Sea Guard. Becomes more.
Okay.
But no one.
That was pretty cool, though.
There is no harsher master than the sea.
The whispering of his name from, I'm assuming that's Middle Earth, makes me nervous that they're gonna make it like that he's a prophesied hero instead of just the man of the moment.
But also, I thought that they didn't go to Middle Earth anymore. That's what the queen just said.
This might be Numenor. I don't know.
The sea is always right. The sea is always right.
Can't argue with that.
10 more will have our own command. 8 more for me. 18 maybe.
Isildur, your sister's here.
If they live for hundreds of years, they only need 10 years to become an officer?
There you are.
Everyone's an officer.
Damn, okay.
That is good. This episode feels like a third pilot.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're just meeting more things.
Faithful believe that when the petals of the white tree...
There's the tree.
It's beautiful.
In my
here.
experience, it is unwise to live one's life guessing after signs and portents.
I like him.
Elendil. Then I shall have to ask you to perform a service.
Is she...
Is she like, you
have
gotta
to go kill
her?
Galadriel?
What
Okay.
is happening?
See, this is the map movement I was talking about in episode 1. That's visually...
I'm like, I see what's up.
I like the Numenorian so far. I like the casting. Like, I like the way
actors.
they're cast. Yeah, I think they're doing a
Yes.
good job.
Actors, good.
These roots block our path.
Rip them out!
Felling a tree will slow our progress. We shall go around.
Very good. You've just earned your company. A water ration.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
This guy's like, what are you doing? It seems crazy that the elves missed all of that. Like, I get that they have, like, tarps above them, but they're kind of in a pretty wide swath.
Girl, hide your ears. What the okay. I was like, don't do your hair like that.
Is she gonna steal a boat?
Be wiser to steal the half sail. I'm afraid the Queen has charged me with seeing to it that you cause no further disturbance.
Okay.
Enough.
Your Hall of Law, how far is that?
Quarter day's ride.
Did you say ride?
She's not allowed to leave the palace.
She doesn't care.
Yes, but you'd think he would, because he's gonna get in.
I don't think he cares either.
This is very strange.
I guess they're trying to show it's like the only time she's happy.
She's riding horses? Okay.
Yeah. Because, like, look at that smile.
Next few rounds on me.
Where did he get money?
From the Queen, probably. They were like, here's to survive the next 3 days.
Well, then I best make my retreat. Well, you still got a warm opinion of me.
It's awesome how, like, diplomatic he is. It's smart. They're building him up to be something.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was worth a try. I don't want any trouble.
Oh, Halbrand. Jesus. Oh! Oh!
Call me Halbrand.
Yeah, it seems like that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Is loyal. We forced him from the throne for it. They say he spends his days in the tower now, an exile in his own kingdom.
Damn.
He's quick.
They use that Dewey Decimal System well.
The account of a human spy retrieved from an enemy dungeon.
Wait a moment. I must be blind. It is a map of the Southlands.
And the Southlands are in grave danger.
If Sauron has indeed returned,
Wait, how is that a map?
What do you mean? That's Mordor. And that's Mount Doom. And then I think the mountain on the other side is where they build Minas Tirith. And then this is the mountain range that...
We can't carry the cart without you.
I knew. I grow old with you, Marigold.
Oh.
I'll stay at the front of the caravan. And we got Nori. No. Look, once that girl puts her head to something, nothing can stop her.
Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah.
There's head sense, Poppy, and there's heart sense. There's common sense and nonsense. I'd rather borrow some star charts out of that book instead.
I'm with Poppy here.
Yeah.
Slip to Melva. It was
Big
you.
guy. Let him figure it out.
Toe cream.
In her toe cream?
Hey.
I don't like that. I don't like feet.
Right. No, I mean left. Yes. No. I'll tell him right now. I'll go straight now.
Calm yourself and get yourself some chestnut pie. Strange girl, that one.
Why didn't she just take it down with her the first time?
I don't know. She had it in her hands. Also, I'm glad she knows what she's looking for.
It's the symbol that he drew on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Noon is very full, so be careful where you're having your shenanigans later on.
Yeah, you be careful where you have your shenanigans later on.
Should any Harfoot fall behind this migration, they likewise will be carried with us in our hearts and in our memories. Chan's proud fellow.
Wow, the Harfoots are ice cold.
Strap, Dewis, Linseed, proud fellow.
Just leave people behind.
Taken by landslide one rainy winter day.
Okay, that's more
fair.
understandable. I was like, when they were like, they'll just, what if we fall behind? I was like, then someone will help you with your cart.
Yeah,
He's like... How did he get the star charts?
I'm assuming she ran them to him and then came back.
Oh no, he's about to light the whole camp on fire. Oh no.
Lovo Baljabook. Bees.
Bees!
We all loved him, but he wasn't Aegis. We wait for you.
Remember when that guy was killed by bees? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, Nori. God damn it.
Nori.
Got him.
Any Harfoot that breaks them is to be decaravaned.
Oh.
Our laws are clear indeed. Miss Brandyfoot is young, but there's much hair still to grow on her toes as sense between her ears. At the back of the caravan. At the back? At the back.
Oh, man.
You may as well stamp our name in the book of the left behinds.
There's a reason he came to us.
Do you see a destiny in this? Do you think you're special? You're just a child. But the tallest milkweed gets snipped.
Who gets to escort her back? Looking for a promotion, cadet. 9 days until the sea trial. You ready?
I was thinking I might defer. Anarion told me you deferred twice.
Anarion? What's your brother have to do with this?
Nothing.
Well, slightly more than nothing.
The watery part of this world has a way of healing even the deepest of wounds.
The way it's healed yours.
Got him. I think it's weird for Galadriel to like walk by and be like, "Is that me?"
Me? But also, if they hate the elves, why are they putting on plays about them?
Halbrand.
Don't start.
Did she ride all the way back without the guy who's supposed to be guarding her?
No, they probably rode back together, and this is happening while he's there.
Your people have no king, for you are him, and the armor that ought to rest upon your shoulders weighs upon your soul.
It's a pretty
Damn.
big leap from he has a necklace.
Yeah. I don't know. Aragorn has a ring, though, so it's like...
But it was my family that lost the war.
And it was mine who started it. Ours was no chance meeting. Not fate, nor destiny. Come with me to Middle-earth. And together we will redeem both our bloodlines.
Why does Galadriel need redeeming?
I don't know. Because she refused to go back to Valinor, maybe? Not the time in the show, but the time in the... I don't know. I'm feeling the weight of how many things the show's trying to do.
Yeah.
And
so I don't care about any of them, really.
It's just tough.
Yeah.
I like this episode. Like, I'm enjoying Numenor. But, like, I just...
The moment we feared. The elf has arrived.
Like, every character has some epic backstory that is slowly being revealed. Every story, like, it's just, like, so many things that this episode still feels like we're barely starting.
Yeah.
I think 3 hours in, I wish that we were a little bit more on a path. Is he in the cart, Fred Flintstoning it?
He's gonna pull that thing with one hand.
He helps us and we help him. Can we, Mom? Can we bring him?
It's that or die. Like...
Yeah.
That was rad.
Wow.
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Careful, Pele's about to...
Yep.
Let's go!
Nice. Smart. Well done.
This is cool.
Although I don't know how his chain, how they weren't pulling on his chain, but that's fine.
They were, but because he used the momentum to help them pull him towards it. The warg?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
That is very CGI.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you tried, girl. Mm-hmm.
It looks like a cartoon hyena. Like, I get that they want it to, like, look different than it does, like, later on, but it doesn't look so.
It just doesn't look there.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, that didn't make sense. Which is a shame, because the orcs look so good.
Yeah, that is just very jarring.
It looks better now that it's kind of trapped. It was more like when it was in the full sunlight.
In the light, yeah. This slow-mo that they're doing for his fighting, it's a choice, but I actually really like it.
I'm digging the slow-mo. The slow-mo really works for me.
Yeah. That looked terrible, but that's fine.
Oh, no. I thought he was going to make it to Galadriel to get Galadriel to come back to...
Bring him to Adan.
Ah, damn it. I thought he was going to like get away and he'd bring Galadriel to...
It's Sauron. Rude.
All right.
They're like, just kidding.
I mean, because we're watching this late, we get another episode in like 2 days, so.
That's true.
We get it on Thursday night, so.
Yes.
All right. Episode 3. Not as good as episode 2, in my opinion.
No.
Better than episode 1. By a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit. Which is really hard because I love The Lord of the Rings so much. And I want to care so bad. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty, like, easy sell on this kind of thing because I love The Lord of the Rings. I don't know all the intricate details about the lore. And I'm happy if they're making changes.
Yeah.
That's not the stuff that I care about. But they're not achieving what I think they are trying to achieve. And
I'm surprised at how bloated it feels.
Yeah.
Like, I thought this show would really, like, move. They have all this money that...
It feels heavy.
And, like, everyone keeps talking about how they're condensing the timeline. And I'm not against the condensing of the timeline.
No, you do what you have to do because the elves live forever.
Well, so... they don't want to recast the humans, and I get that. But in condensing the timeline, what they've done is made, like, the storytelling... If you're going to condense the timelines, the storytelling should be quick.
Yeah.
Like get into it. And I think what's so interesting about the show is that there is so much that like we don't see Elrond or the dwarves at all in this episode. We spend the entire episode introducing this entire kingdom of Numenor.
Yeah.
But even in introducing Numenor, I don't really understand what like is going on there.
No, we don't really have any kind of answers except that the previous king got kicked out because he was a friend of the elves. So there's some kind of corruption in Numenor that has turned Numenor against them, but Sauron isn't there, so I don't really know what that's supposed to be.
Our episode 1 reaction has a lot of people being like, it seems really simple. I don't understand why you guys don't understand what's going on. And it's not that we don't understand what's going on. I can follow the like beat to beat of the show really
the literal
simply,
like things that happen.
Partially because they take so long to tell everything that like by the time they get there, I'm like, hey, I get it. I understand what's going on. My issue right now in terms of my enjoyment of the show is that I'm not quite feeling a thematic resonance between the multiple storylines. If you're going to do multiple storylines in one episode, the way to help the audience not feel jarred by the motion of that is to have all of the arcs of each storyline have some theme that they're all trying to help the audience understand, right? And I feel like these episodes don't really have theme.
Yeah.
They have bloat, and they have like it almost feels like they're so weighed down by the story they feel they need to tell that so much is getting left behind.
Yeah, we were listening to a podcast that was talking about like episode 1 and 2 and how there's no real like theme or like why now, like what is it trying to say, not the story it's trying to tell, but what is it trying to say about anything, right? Like about, I don't want to say humanity, but it's like, you know what I mean? And they don't really have any idea about what that's supposed to be. And I think that the most interesting part of the show that we saw was the idea of mortality between the elves and the dwarves. Our favorite stuff so far was Elrond and Durin. And obviously his wife and all of them. But this idea that the elves live forever and 20 years is literally nothing to them. Which is why I was like, Galadriel's upset about 3 days. Like, she doesn't even know what's going on at that point. She's upset about the 3 days before she finds the map and the symbol and stuff. So I'm like, I don't really understand why she's so excitable, I guess. But if the show...
She's tough.
She's
so incompetent.
Yeah. and rude
at like diplomacy that
Yeah.
it's kind of shocking considering they're calling her Galadriel. And like I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, why did you call like I don't want to be one of those guys because there is a segment of the internet that hates that they've given her this position in the show. And like I get that, and I understand why there is such an outpouring of positivity for the show in opposition to that.
Yes.
But at the same time,
It's
I
not
don't
working.
understand what they're trying to do with her.
Yeah.
And I wish that I did.
Yeah.
Like she's a great warrior. Fine. She's thousands of years old. Of course she's really good with the sword. But like she's really bad at interacting with
I don't like her.
any character.
I don't like her at all. But I
And
think
she's
that
she's so abrasive because all of her dialogue is about rushing forward to something, but the show isn't rushing with her.
Yeah.
So she feels out of tempo with everything else that's going on.
and with elves in general and this like
Mhm.
idea that they've set up. But I think here's the thing. If I think that the show would have really succeeded if they had taken that theme of mortality and run with that and taught and it had been about the elves living forever and other races not and having that and those relationships be like the core of everybody's interactions and,
Yeah,
and how they navigate that and what that means for the world. Like I think that would have been super fascinating.
But they can't they can't now because the Last Alliance of Men and Elves is now within the next 10 years, right? And so they can't play with
guess.
mortality. Well, no, I guess Isildur is what 250 at the Last Alliance, so he's clearly, I have no idea how old he is now, but like they have probably
He could be 100 and like we don't know.
but they probably have at least 100 years to play with.
Yeah.
But also if they're condensing the timelines, if Halbrand is going to be important to the Last Alliance of Men and Elves and like the Durin that they have, because I don't think dwarves live.
Dwarves live longer.
They
than
live longer,
humans.
but I don't. Do they live as longer than Numenorians? I'm
Yes.
concerned that they're going to. They live longer than Numenorians.
I don't know about longer because I'm not actually sure how long Numenorians live, but the dwarves don't have immortal life, but they have
They're long-lived.
very long life.
My concern is that they're going to condense all of this to like 10 years.
Yeah.
And that everything is going to feel rushed, but with so many different storylines at the same time that the rush is going to feel bloated. And it's just the feeling of the show is off to me right now. And it's because it's not specific and it's vague. And I think that it thinks its reveals are more interesting than they are.
Yeah.
And it's just tough. They want us to really love Galadriel. They
and
really
I
do.
not.
And they've kind of made her incompetent at everything except sword fighting.
She's kind of almost the antagonist of the show.
No, she's not evil in any way.
No, I feel like
She's
I'm
the
like,
antagonist to her own success.
I guess,
which
yeah.
is
I'm
interesting.
Like, you're doing everything wrong.
But the show starts with like Galadriel has spent hundreds of years searching every corner of Middle Earth for this evil.
Yeah.
Except the Southlands, I guess. But the elves there knew that the humans worked with Morgoth. And so it's like, why wouldn't that be the first place you'd look?
Maybe it was the first place they looked and there wasn't any like tunnels yet. And so they missed it while they were searching everywhere else is my only...
It's just strange to me that she's known about this symbol for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And she's never thought that it's a map.
Or she
even
never thought
though-
to turn it sideways.
But she said, but like that's my thing, right? Is she's like, this is the sign that leads to Sauron. That's what we get in episode 1. And she never thought that it might literally be a sign to lead to Sauron in hundreds of years. And that's the problem with trying to make everything so long but also so short.
Yeah.
Is that you have this all feels so coincidental.
Yeah.
Like all of these meetings are just like such random happenstance because they've taken these events that take place so far apart and they've condensed them down to the same week.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know, I want to like the show a lot more than I am.
Yeah.
But this episode was just a lot of exposition. And exposition in beautiful dead to us.
Yeah, we
And
just
that
leave you behind.
That's stone cold.
Yeah.
We'll write your name in a book, but if you...
So, like, do they, like, draw straws for who's last every year?
I don't know.
Because if you are in the back...
I think that if you're in the back, you're probably fine unless your feet are broken, right? Like, if the dad's foot was fine, they would be fine.
Oh, they would be all right, but the person in the very back has the biggest chance of being picked off by wolves. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
which they talk about. They're like, this guy got eaten by wolves. This guy, the bees got him. Like,
Yeah, one thing that I find interesting about the Harfoots is that they don't have any sort of like donkey or like if I was them, I would have some sort of beast of burden
they
to
haven't
help me
tamed any animals. Yeah.
And I do appreciate that. One thing I think the show is doing really well is showing the proto technology. Like it doesn't. Sometimes there's a complaint in like Star Wars, right? Where you go to the prequels and the technology, because it was made later, the technology looks better than the originals.
Yeah.
And Star Wars has gone out of its way to say that it's the corruption of the Empire that has led to that. And there's an in-story reason for that. But there's a tough, when you go back to like the Old Republic and a lot of the technology already exists and you're like, oh, there's no advancement in the society in thousands of years. That's weird.
Yeah.
But what they've done in this show is they've taken a lot of the technology out of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Even like, obviously the Numenorians are further advanced than the
yeah,
humans.
they're their own thing, for sure.
You can see how these become the hobbits, but they're not there yet.
Yeah.
The Harfoots, sorry. And so I actually really appreciate that. I think that's something the show's done really well. I think visually the show's awesome. I think that warg looked terrible, but
the warg looked bad, but everything else looked phenomenal. That fight, like the fight choreography and our elf boy, that was fun.
Well, but my thing with that is that the orcs look so good.
Yeah, that the
and
warg
they
was
don't know
like,
on the day. Like obviously, like when they planned it out, they probably assumed that it would all look equally good. But the disparity between how good the orcs looked and how 2010 the warg looked was pretty stark to me.
Yeah, it was strange.
And they have all the money. Like I don't really know. And
they spent it on location.
I wasn't the design. I didn't mind the popping eyes or like the big mouth. It was actually just the like lighting, and its feet never really felt like it touched the ground.
Yeah, it was like, it was just a bit off. I don't mind the design either. Like I said, I think that it's fun that this warg is like probably very new, right?
Which is the crazy hyena in Lion King?
Ed.
Yeah, it reminded me of Ed.
Yes.
In a way that wasn't to its benefit.
No. And here's the thing. Like, later on, the wargs are bred a certain way to be, like, hardy and vicious. Obviously, like, they have a, like, look later on. So I actually appreciated that it was slightly different. And this was more, like the Harfoots are kind of proto-hobbits, even though they're not. But, like, we're led to believe. This is kind of, like, the first or second version of a warg, right? Because they're newer. I'm assuming. I don't think wargs are in the First Age.
I have no idea.
I could be wrong about that. But even so, if they evolve over time, like, I think that's cool. It was the CGI itself that didn't look the greatest.
It's the first time in these 3 episodes, though, that I thought something looked off.
Yeah.
I was surprised that, like, some of those close-ups were, like, very close up and didn't look good.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The show is so fascinating because, like, the overall lore is great, and, like, I like the look a lot. The Numenorian armor is so good. The Numenorians are interesting, but I think what I'm struggling with is that as a television show, this from episode to episode is just not about it.
Especially because they've already decided they're having 5 seasons?
Yeah, like I think that Numenor could have been season 2.
Yeah.
And then they could have just not had to like show that we were about to go on.
Yeah.
And then episode 3, it was like, okay, now we're introducing you to the show. And I think that that's what I'm feeling more than anything.
I have a feeling Rings of Power is going to have a rough first season.
Mm-hmm.
And season 2 is going to be great.
I hope so.
Because they'll figure it out. Like right now, it's like they just are trying so hard, and I can appreciate that. Okay, like
it's a lot.
It is.
What they've set out to tell us is a lot of information.
Yes, and I get that, and I think that once they settle into it, I actually think like the show has great potential. But right now, it's just rough. Also, why aren't they calling the humans that are in the Southlands the Easterlings?
They're not the Easterlings.
Yeah, the Easterlings are the humans that pledge themselves to Morgoth. I've been watching some stuff.
I just mean maybe that like term doesn't exist right now.
I mean, it should canonically, but I guess.
But like,
yeah. It's just interesting why. So the valley, the people that the elves were like keeping an eye on, those are all descendants of like Easterlings and people who pledge themselves to Morgoth.
Yes.
So I just like it's just interesting to me because it's a term that's like familiar to the movies. I wonder why they didn't tie it in.
I genuinely just think it's that the elves wouldn't use that word.
All right.
I don't think the elves have like see variety in humans. I think they're just humans. And that like there are people who here's the thing, I don't know. And this is the problem. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I just feel like the show would have been better off not introducing Numenor in this episode. As much as I liked it, I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the actors. I have a lot of like, really, we're doing Isildur already. Are you guys so worried that the people who saw the movies need to be reminded of things from the movies every like 5 seconds?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm worried that it's Gandalf. And I'm worried that Rings of Power is not willing to tell its own story. And it's just going to be things from the movies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm worried that Adar has Sauron's glove already. You know what I mean? I think I'm a little concerned that the show feels like they have to visually and like in the naming of things hew so close to things from the movies, or else the audience won't be interested, that they're not going to tell their own story.
Yeah.
And
I would like their own story.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked this episode, but it didn't do what I wanted after episode 2.
Yeah.
Right? And like, I don't think it's a bad episode of television. No, I do. I don't think it's a bad visual story.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad episode of television.
Yeah.
In that
There we go.
it doesn't do a good job of being in episode 3 to episode 2. It is another new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this show just keeps doing new things rather than diving in on the story that they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
And that's, as an audience member who really likes episodic storytelling and serialized episodic storytelling, that's not really what this show feels like yet. And once they get on a track and they get going with like a character arc, and once Galadriel can stop just being an exposition machine and start to like have relationship with the people around her, it's going to make the show better. This is why I don't like that they why they sent all those elves back to Valinor, is that Galadriel is just in scenes with people she has no relationship with, but who have relationship with her as Galadriel.
Yeah.
And so she is just like snooty and looking down on everyone all the time.
Well, and her best moments were with Elrond, who she actually has a relationship with.
But that's my point, is she just keeps being put in these scenes with characters who she as a character doesn't care about because they're not related to her mission. And I get that. And like, from a like logic standpoint, I understand why she's behaving the way that she's behaving, but from a like wisdom standpoint, that her like that's supposed to be her maxed out stat, right?
Yeah.
It's unwise to be a dick.
Yeah.
And I don't really get like what she thinks she's going to accomplish by being rude.
I don't know.
And it just feels like
I hated all of that.
But it feels like Halbrand shouldn't have to come in and save her in a diplomatic situation.
Yeah.
And that's what they chose. And so it makes her character confusing to me, because I'm like, you're thousands of years old and you don't know how to like.
Well, it's one of those things where all the
grease the wheels.
All the like Sag boys out there like, why always must women character be strong? And you're kneecapping her. Like, she's not at all. She's not the brightest. She's not the nicest. Definitely not diplomatic. She can wield a sword, which is pretty cool. And if she's the general, I buy that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, her character's very flawed.
Which is good. Like, I like that she's flawed and she has lessons to learn. It's just weird for her to be learning these lessons now.
Well, and I just don't like how they're doing it because, like you said, I'm like, oh, girl, what? Like, come on.
And
like, she's not
I'm a little kid. Look, I'm usually pretty easy on actors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little worried that it's not the writing. I don't know if it's direction.
I'm not a fan. I'm gonna come out and say it.
I'm not a fan of Galadriel.
No.
And it's not because she's like a warrior woman. That's fine. It's that she's supposed to be smart and she's not coming across that way.
And the actress is like very wooden.
Yeah.
She like doesn't move her, like she like has a look and she's not gonna let that look go. And I'm like, your face is bothering me.
But I wonder if it's not her, if it's like they were like, the elves have to be this thing. But what's weird is that Elrond isn't. Yeah, I know.
Elrond is not. Gil-galad is not. Our elf boy, I'm so sorry. Our badass elf boy who's been captured.
I think his name's Orendir.
Yeah.
He's rad.
He's great. And Galadriel, I'm just like, your face is stuck.
But they killed off his friends too. They just keep killing off all the elf characters who are in relationship with our main characters, so they don't have people to talk to. And it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, kill off one of the two elves so that we still have a character going into the next episode for him to converse with.
Yes.
But, like, they just keep killing off all of the characters that our characters know. So they just have to keep meeting new people every episode. And so the show is just a funnel of new faces.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad all these actors got work and got paid. So.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. But, like, keep them around for more than 2 episodes.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody on the show is... And what's so funny is that in condensing the timelines to keep the human characters alive longer, you would think that some of the elves would make it, but they all keep dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways.
The show could be great. Look, it's a slow burn. So, like, when we get there, it might be worth it, but I have no idea where we're going.
I don't know.
And we're the easiest audience for this, too, which makes me concerned.
I know. I'm sitting here being like, I want to love this so bad.
I know.
I'm not like a Tolkien lore fanatic. Like, I know some things, but like, I don't care if things are different. I really don't. Changing a story
if they're told well.
Yes, changing a story is never the problem for me. It's when you go and you kind of fuck it up a little bit. Like, I'm like, come on, guys. If you're going to do something new, which I am like 100% a supporter of, you have to do it well. Mm-hmm. And right now, I don't really like this.
Well, and all of the problems I think that they're facing are because of their choice to be so big with their story so fast.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have to do any of this.
I know.
They could have done anything, and they chose bloat.
Excuse me.
Like, I can't imagine what their whiteboard or whatever their story room looks like for the writers team. I can't imagine how much is on it, and that none of them sat back and went, hey, maybe this is too much.
Yeah. Yeah. I also feel like our audience is going to be like, wait, do you guys like it or do you not like it? I don't know whether or not I like your reviews.
It's funny because episode 1, which we disliked, was our most disliked video in a while. And then episode 2, I thought because we liked it was going to be like way more liked. But it wasn't. It was our second most disliked video in a while.
People are just mad that we're watching it and have opinions about it, I guess.
Well, and people think we don't understand it. I understand it. I get the plot. Like, people are like, are you guys confused? Why are you confused? I'm not confused about what is happening in the show. I get what's happening in the show. I'm confused about why they chose to tell this story.
Okay, but why
the way that they're telling it.
Why they chose to tell this story and what this means for the timeline and what things mean to characters. Because it is confusing for people who have some outside knowledge, right, of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And they come into this and they're like, okay, this is different than what I know. But it's not being fully explained to me as to why it's different and how it's different. It's just kind of different. And that is hard because if it was black and white, if it was this versus this, you know, this is the Silmarillion and Tolkien and whatever he wrote and blah blah blah, and this is the Rings of Power and this is what we're doing, but it's not. It's a weird gray middle muddy mess, and so that's where it gets a little hard to follow because I'm like, I don't know where they're going.
Well, and I think that they, in the interviews, were like, no, we respect the Tolkien lore so much. We're so excited to bring the Tolkien lore to screen. Like, there was so much discussion about that.
Yeah.
I almost wish those interviews had been like, look, we are making a show that is going to be about something and it's our own thing.
Yeah.
And it is inspired by Tolkien, but it is not going to hew 100% to the lore. I'm not saying they should have said it like that. That would have been an internet firestorm. But I think they should have hired a PR team to help them come up with a message to convey what kind of show this is. And I think they would have been better off with a Secta fan that we're not. Like, I was going to watch this no matter what. But there are fans who are just upset. And I don't think that... Look, obviously the racism is wrong. And the sexism is wrong. There's like tiers of it, right? That level of it is wrong.
Yeah,
and
if you hate the show because there's a black elf in it, get the fuck out of here. You get out of our channel. Like, you're in the wrong space.
They're fictional characters, right?
Yeah.
And I will say, the most interesting parts of the show right now are the Black Elf and the Black Dwarf.
Yeah!
I think Disa Orindir...
Disa's my favorite! I was like, give me more of her, please.
Orindir is actually, like, engaged in something.
Yes.
That is moving forward in a way that, like, is interesting.
His is the plot that's actually, like, the most central to everything. Like, Galadriel's kind of just off somewhere trying to figure it out. And he matters. He is going to be, like, the
and she'll get there. They're going to work together. That's the thing. I think once Orindir and Galadriel get together, the show will start to work for me.
That's what I mean. I think season 2 actually could be really fantastic.
Yeah. But so I think there's tiers. And I want to like, so the bottom tier is like the people who are just racist and sexist and just hateful. Obviously, their criticisms are invalid to me. I do not care. If you just don't like Black Dwarfs, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
There's a tier above that are the people who are just so steeped in the lore that they can't enjoy the show because it is different. Their criticisms are valid, but also not helpful. So like push that to the side, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you wanted a very, very accurate adaptation of Silmarillion, they don't have the access to the rights.
They don't have the
can't
rights.
do that. So like those, I think
impossible.
those criticisms are valid because they come from a place that really matters to those people, that isn't harmful to anyone and isn't hateful, but is just like, this show is not for them. Fine. Then we get up to the next tier. That next tier is people who want this to feel like the people who are criticizing the show because it doesn't feel like it is for anybody.
Yeah.
And I think that there is a level of criticism at that level that I think is very valid.
Yeah.
And I feel like the show is too bloated and like random at times to be for general audiences. And obviously I know there's going to be comments who are like, don't talk for everybody. I like the show. I'm glad you do. I'm not talking for everybody.
If you do, I'm genuinely happy for you because I want to like it as well.
But I'm saying that like I am listening to people who aren't as big a nerd of me, but have podcasts and talk about pop culture, who are talking about the show going, guys, I have no idea what's going on.
That's true, yeah.
And we listen to, I don't want to call them out because I like their show a lot, but
it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
There are people out there
who I think are very intelligent, talented television watchers.
Yeah.
Who do it professionally, who find the show obtuse.
Yeah.
And
that's valid.
I'm enjoying the show, but I'm finding it bloated. And I'm worried that the show is so expensive that they're not going to pull in a wide enough net and that
they're just gonna
their numbers are just going to dwindle.
Money, yeah.
And we might not get to that season 2. Here's the thing. Streaming services don't care how big episode 1 launched.
Yeah.
They care who is still watching at episode 10.
Yeah.
And the show to me right now doesn't feel like it is for enough people that it is going to keep enough of its audience. Because nobody's talking about it. Everyone is talking about House of the Dragon.
True.
I cannot open my Twitter without... we have to watch House of the Dragon on time because it is...
We'll get spoiled.
Every tweet is Rhaenyra. Everybody loves Rhaenyra so much.
Yeah.
There are people thirsting after him.
Yeah.
But Rhaenyra is the hottest character on television right now. In terms of engagement, right?
Yeah.
Everybody loves her across the entire spectrum.
Yeah.
When she ages up, that second actress has big boots to fill.
Yeah.
Because people have desperately fallen in love with this character.
Yeah.
I am watching this show, 5 days late? And I've been on Twitter all 5 of those days.
And nothing, really.
I saw nothing about that warg. I saw nothing. I did not see that Elendil was in the episode.
Yeah, people don't seem to give a shit.
Like people are not talking about it.
Yeah.
And that is concerning to me.
Yeah,
the
that looks
engagement
bad.
online. Look at the numbers of our videos. Our House of the Dragon reactions do
way
at
better.
least 20,000 an episode.
Yeah.
And our episode 1 Rings of Power reaction doesn't have 20,000.
Yeah.
And like, look, a lot of those views for us are from search. Right now, that's where it goes, right? Like, I can look at our analytics and see where people are coming in from.
Yeah.
And maybe it's my fault. Maybe I've made bad thumbnails or something. Maybe the titles of those first 2 episodes wasn't very good, and that's on me. But we have enough numbers now, and we've been doing this long enough that I can kind of see where people are coming from onto our videos.
Yeah.
And I can compare 2 things. And House of the Dragon is dominating in terms of how many people are looking for it, how many people are looking for reactions, how many people are tweeting about it.
Yeah.
Over The Lord of the Rings. Like, that's insane to me, but the show that I'm watching, I get it.
I get it. No, I totally get it. And it does, you're right, it does not bode well for Amazon and for the future of the show that people don't really seem to care. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they just
And
want
people
to
do.
stay...
I want to be clear, before we get the comments, there are people who enjoy the show. I get it.
Yeah. We're just looking at numbers, like
Yeah.
realistically, like that's all.
And so is Amazon.
Yeah, that's what Amazon is going to be looking at too. And so, I don't know. I hope this show gets a second chance at season 2, but like, who knows? Who knows what the rest of the season is going to look like? Maybe I'm looking way too far ahead, but...
Or the rest of the season's great.
Maybe.
Here's the thing, like, episode 2 was awesome, right?
It was good.
Oh, no, I thought it was awesome. The scene with Durin and Elrond on the elevator was one of my favorite television scenes of the year.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely do think episode 2 was awesome. I think that this was fine.
Yeah.
And I think episode 1 was bad.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with the show right now. And I'm sorry this video is so long. We've been talking for so long, but like I have so many feelings because I want it to, I so want this to be good.
Yeah.
And there's stuff about it I love. And I think that ultimately, I don't think Galadriel's working right now.
No, I don't
And
think
she's
so
the
either.
centerpiece of the show in a way that is hurting everything else.
It seems like the only thing that Rings of Power is really accomplishing is that it's getting more people to watch The Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
which is also good for Amazon.
Wheel of Time is like number 4 on Amazon right now, which is so strange.
So like that's cool, I
Considering
guess.
season 2, like I would have expected that when season 2 trailers start to drop and people want to catch up.
Yeah. Speaking of Wheel of Time, come join book club on Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything more to say about it. I feel like it said everything. And
We said a lot. I'm so sorry this video is
Sorry.
as long as it is, but I just needed to talk it out.
Yeah. Just talk it out, you know.
I was
you guys
so
are
excited
our
after episode
therapists.
2. I genuinely was. I was so excited
Yeah.
after episode 2.
Yeah.
And like this was just not, there's no motion. It's
Yeah.
just spinning its wheels.
Yep.
Because it still hasn't introduced. I'm so worried episode 4 is going to be like, welcome to Mordor, and we're going to meet 19 characters there that we need to know.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Yep.
If you like this video, which I'm assuming 80% of you will, and about 20% won't, because that seems to be our average for Rings of Power so far.
yeah.
Like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave mean comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry, and we must. They look so good, but,
They look so good, but
they're
they're
not being
horrifying.
fed because meat's back on the menu, boys. If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
And as always, y'all, do something nerdy tonight, you dang nerds. Bye.
Bye.